Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Community with Dr. Matt, and I'm actually hanging out with Mayor Rick Bonnette today. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. You've just been chatting here and getting to know Mayor Rick a little bit better, and he's been sharing some of the things he's passionate about, and I thought maybe you'd love to hear it as well. And do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Mayor Rick Bonnette, and I've been mayor of the town of Halton Hills for 15 years, and I've lived my whole life since I was about a year old in Halton Hills.
Wow.
A long time.
Awesome. And you say you've been doing politics basically since
1982. Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's the youngest person ever elected in Halton Hills history.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And which ward was that?
Ward 1, Acton.
Up in Acton.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Had a very political family, growing up. I played a lot of hockey. That was my passion, hockey, baseball.
Yeah, that's cool.
But after every night at supper, we'd have to have our supper, then go and watch the news. And we'd all sit down as a family with my dad and my mother and watch the news and hear my dad get passionate about one political party or the premier or the prime minister. So it just kind of got ingrained with you, and it's funny as I get older and I talk to people and I said, did you watch the news? No, I don't watch the news. It's all bad things. And it's just like, what? You have to know what's going on in this world.
I have to admit, I fit into that category.
Is that right?
I usually get the news from practice members coming into the office telling me, oh, did you hear about this? Or I see a pop-up on Facebook or social media. And go and looking at it. But yeah, no, I totally respect what you're saying.
Yeah, and I get this. People have busy lives and everything else. But the one thing I will say is you should read your local newspapers. It takes all of 10 minutes to read it.
That's
and
one
then
thing I do flip open.
Good.
Yeah. So
all right, one for you.
Yeah, so I do flip that open usually on Thursday nights and go through that. Usually my wife brings it into the house. But I still do enjoy getting that.
Yeah, now you just don't go to the advertisements to see what's on sale. You actually look at
I'm usually, they got apps for that stuff now, right? So
I know,
it's so convenient, right?
Yeah.
But I'm usually looking at the little blue pages of bylaw changes or whatever's popping up in the community. Mm-hmm. There's usually one or two featured articles, which are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you working on right now? What are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited for about 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now, for the election to get over and get back to running the town and getting back to business. And I think it's going to be an exciting time. We really have some really neat things happening here in Halton Hills. For instance, in the last couple of years, we've had over, probably the last 4 years, an additional close to 5 million square feet of industrial commercial coming into town.
Wow.
Acton,
for everything.
In Acton, which is a small town, there's a company from British Columbia, Futura Investments, and they've infused $30 million into the economy. They've bought land, they've built a rail spur, they already attracted one company from Brampton, relocating into Acton.
Okay.
And that's just phase one. Yeah. And then last week I had a tour with our members of council and staff of Kraft Heinz. Yeah. And they've got a 500,000 square foot building in Halton Hills, and they're so pleased with their staff, and they said, we got the best deal, this is why we came here. They're adding another 250,000 square foot. It has to be refrigerated, so it's a $50 million investment into the town, and we've had lots of other ones coming into town. Yeah. So it's creating jobs and creating assessments. So that's always a rush when you're a mayor or local politician that sees people investing in your town.
And they're interested in coming here, putting their money here.
Exactly. And like I said, it helps the tax base because you need that good balance of commercial, industrial versus residential. So it helps the tax base, but it's nice to see companies coming here. We had another one, Bradford White moved in from Bradford, came in. We have another company hoping to open up probably in the new year, but they bought a building down in the industrial part of Georgetown, and it's called Fresh House. Okay. And they're even it's gonna be a meat manufacturer, and they're even gonna I talked to the president, and they even already named the sausage after Georgetown. It's going to be called the George.
Oh wow!
So
okay,
yeah, so a little hometown cooking,
yeah.
if you will. So that's always an exciting time when you
Absolutely.
see people investing in the town and you can see change coming around. The other major thing it's a game changer for the town, and I think we got it right. We want to get it right.
Yeah.
And that's Vision Georgetown.
Right.
And that's 1,000 acres to be developed in town. It's by the provincial and legislated, the Places to Grow Act.
Right.
And we're going to be adding in the next 10 years about 18,000 residents to Georgetown, right across from the Gellert,
yes.
that area.
Yeah.
So we've had public consultation for the last couple of years. I set up a committee at the beginning of last term, and councilors, staff, citizens, we had about 10, 15 citizens at one time sitting on it, and with the developers themselves to try to plan something that isn't going to be a cookie cutter. Try to make it unique.
Yeah, that's neat.
Because what's important, Dr. Matt, is that if you're going to add this kind of people into Georgetown, you want it to blend in.
Best it can, yeah.
The best it can and be seamless.
Yeah.
And I think we got it. As I said, we had public meetings, and some public meetings we had 200 to 300 people coming out. So we had different concepts. You know, which one do you like? Do you like this here? Do you like that there?
Yeah.
Do you like the school here? And when you really look at 1,000 acres, it's really about, I don't know, 490 of it that's actually developed.
Right, and the rest is greens?
Yeah, green, natural heritage systems, green, protected, you know, forestry, like there's all woodlots, I should say, woodlots. So you got to do a lot of planning to get the roads through.
Yes.
And so that's also going to be something for the new term of council to deal with. You know, whether I'm here or not, but who's ever there, they got to deal with it.
Yeah, so that'll be the next 10 years then?
Yeah, it'll start around 2021, 20. It might even be as early as 2020.
Because they've already started grading it, right? You're taking out the houses that are there and getting set up?
Yeah, they're getting set up, but they're still got to get the water services up here. They're not here yet, and that's going to probably take a year and a half.
So I think that was the last time I heard an update was probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we were talking about the water. Yeah. Right? And then I guess that's the major...
That's the major thing, and also what has to be key is the road winding at Trafalgar Road. Because you have to have exits on the Trafalgar Road, otherwise it's just going to be a disaster. A disaster. So, and that's a huge project, and the region's already buying some land, buying some houses out along Trafalgar Road, because for you people out there, including me, how many times have you gone to the tracks here at Trafalgar Road and Maple, and here comes a long freight train, and you're stuck? I one time had a guy complain to me because he had a pizza and he had to sit there for 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
By the time he got home, it was cold. So that is, so we need a grade separation. Okay. And that's going to be so the traffic can still move, and that's cost a lot of money. Yeah. And on Trafalgar Road's going to be widened to 4 lanes.
So eventually there's going to be some sort of overpass?
I think it's an underpass.
Underpass. Okay, that'd be quite the change there.
Yeah, it will be quite the change, and it'll take time, and I believe that's going to be started around 2020.
Wow. Okay.
So
that'll be nice for that corner.
I think so. I forget, something like 20,000 cars a day go through there.
That sounds, yeah.
So you want to keep the traffic moving.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You want to keep the traffic moving, and I think the fact that Trafalgar Road will be 4 lanes rather than 2 lanes.
Big difference.
Will make a big difference, but you have to have it.
Yeah.
Once that development starts, because otherwise we're just going to have gridlock leaving Georgetown, and that's.
There's no fun in traffic jams living in the suburbs.
No, that's what we experience in Norval. That's another huge one is in Norval. That and Norval's such a complicated, complex. Because you have MTO, you have the town of Halton Hills, you have Peel Region, and Halton Region.
So that's what makes it
so difficult. Yeah. So we did have an agreement some years ago, and then they came up with the GTA West corridor, and that put everything on hold.
Excuse me.
But the bypass has got to go because every day, you've driven down Norval. Try driving there at 3:30.
I started out practicing down there at the corner at 518. Right, so it was the first driveway after the Carpet Palace, right?
Yeah, yeah,
and you'd be sitting there forever making a left, holding up traffic, trying to get in there, right?
Oh, I know. So. And then we have residents on Green Street that people are trying to avoid. Now, don't be doing that if you're listening.
Oh, is that the zigzag around?
Yeah, and they zigzag around, but they don't realize that these are residential people that have a right to walk their dog, and they got cars zooming by.
I can see the frustration with that.
So we have put in we have put in speed bumps, and we're going to be adding more speed bumps to make the ride very uncomfortable. That they may as well wait those extra 1 minute to make the legal turns instead of cutting through people's little driveway. And there's only about 10 houses, but it does affect their quality of life, and that's very important. People's quality of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why they chose to live here.
Exactly. Small town living at its best.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're about.
Now, one thing I do want to ask you before I forget, it's top of mind, is the rabbit.
Oh, the rabbit.
So I'm looking around town, I'm seeing your signs, and I'm like, okay, I gotta ask Mayor Bonnette
about
the rabbit. Yeah, and the socks too, right?
Well, you cut the socks.
With the carrots, yes. You like wild socks like I do?
Yeah. Well, the rabbit, and look, you'll see a lamp over there with a rabbit.
Okay,
Don't hold it against me, but I'm a Montreal Canadian fan.
Okay, awesome.
And I was a goalie.
Yeah.
And hockey players always have silly nicknames, usually based on their last name. So if your name is Smith, it's Smitty.
Right.
If it's Jones, it's Jonesy. Well, there's a goalie for the Montreal Canadiens, Michel Bunny Larocque.
Right.
And me being a Hab fan and having a name like Bonnette, they reduced it to Bunny.
Okay.
Now, I like to, so it's Bunny Bonnette. I've had it since I was a kid, and many people I know that still know these years, they still call me Bunny, not Rick. But I can also use it political, give me a job, I'll hop to it.
Awesome, yeah, we like that.
Or I like to see my lawn signs populate like rabbits. So,
awesome.
So we try to turn it, politics doesn't have to be serious 24/7. Yeah, you need a little bit of levity.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the rabbits, and I got my pins and my tie. Actually, somebody bought me this tie. One of my constituents bought me this tie. Yeah.
Goodness.
Last year they saw it in the States and they said, "Oh, the mayor should have this one," so I wear it.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty nice.
That's probably the big thing I'm all about too is making it exciting in the office. You got to be there every day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you might as well have something to make fun of.
Yeah, and at night too. Like you get so many emails. I probably average 300 emails a week. Not all from the public, but from councilor staff, but a lot from the public, especially when there's a snowstorm. I get a lot of emails, about want to know when the streets are going to be done or the sidewalks or whatever. And I try to answer all my emails. I probably answer 99% of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So Mayor Rick can be reached if you actually reach out.
Yeah, that's right. mayor@haltonhills.ca.
Awesome.
And it comes right to me. It doesn't go to any of the staff to filter it. They come right to me.
Okay.
And when I say the 1%, you know what? And that's true. 99.9% of the people are so polite and everything else ask for help.
Yeah.
But that one fraction. There's sometimes you just can't legitimize an email. And I'll
Please rephrase and send back.
Yeah. You just don't. But anyway, so that's always a busy time for me too. It is about a 60-hour-a-week job.
Okay, I can imagine.
Except for the summertime. I mean, it's like anything else. I'm not going to be a kidder, but the rest
people
of the time,
are out of their normal habits in the summer.
Yeah, that's right. They're at the cottage or they don't have many issues going on.
So you brought up a couple of things before we got on camera. Actually, we were just talking about some of the neat things that you've done in terms of just economics of the town and being, getting the name out there, saying, "Hey, we're not going to buy from you," kind of thing, or making it bringing awareness to different campaigns, right? So, what was it? Do you want to share with everybody watching about the Maclean's magazine you were mentioned in?
Yeah, Maclean.
I thought this was pretty cool. And this is pretty recent, isn't it?
Yep, that's
August 2018 of Maclean's.
Yeah, made Maclean's magazine August 28th. As we all know, there's been a lot of discussion about NAFTA.
Right.
And back in 2009, Halton Hills had a major role I brought a resolution that council supported unanimously about the Buy American policies. And the Buy American policies, we're not talking about buying shirts, socks, and whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking about, we had a company that moved to Halton Hills from Mississauga, couldn't get any work in the States, and they did hydraulic pumping for sewer and water treatment plants, and that's big bucks. And the Americans came up with a Buy American where they wouldn't take anything for infrastructure for schools, roads, institutions. So what really got me going was a company called IPEX International.
Right.
And they're a Canadian company. They got offices in Mississauga, and they can produce enough plastic pipe to go around the world.
Okay.
Well, they had, there's a naval base, a naval hospital outside of San Diego.
Right.
They got a retrofit program, and they had to rip out all their pipes because it had made in Canada, or they couldn't get the funding from the
Sounds
federal
like common
government.
sense.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
common sense. So the pipes are ripped out, so that got me pretty upset. And then when I heard from Mayor Gordon, I had my Canadian tattoo going, if you will, and on my heart, and like most proud Canadians should be, I passed a resolution. I said all members of council supported it, that we would not buy off of any country that's going to discriminate against Canada. And we didn't have to mention the states. It could have been North Korea, it could be anybody, but everybody knew what it meant, and it gave us national news and etc. Well, then this year, as Donald Trump was pushing for the NAFTA, and immediately we had a summit in Quebec, a G7 summit, and it already put tariffs on aluminum and steel, which caused one little company in Sault Ste. Marie to close. Hamilton was under fire. So we had another resolution that I crafted for council to basically tell people to be aware of your origin while you're buying things.
Yeah.
Because if they're not supporting us and putting us out of work, you know, that this is something we're going to do. So again, Halton Hills, we put Halton Hills on the national map. And Maclean's magazine interviewed me, what my thoughts were, and they interviewed other people from across Canada. And one thing I said about Trump, and this is when he came to Quebec, I said, he's just like everybody's worst house guest. He showed up late, left early, and insulted the guests. And that's what he did. He insulted the Prime Minister when he left, and he showed up. He showed up late for the conference, missed half of it, and flew. And then he was halfway over the Pacific, going to North Korea, insulting Canada by tweeting.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, that's why I made that comment. But outside of the jab at the president, it was really to say to our constituents, when you go shopping, look for the Canadian seal and buy Canadian wherever you can. And you know, my wife and I, Josie and I, we were in a challenge, but we found tissue paper that was made in Canada. We found all kinds of different things.
Okay.
Dishwasher, dishwashing soap. You know, when we're in the supermarkets, we were looking
and make sure it's all congruent.
Yeah, there's so many different products that are made in Canada that you don't think of. You know, that's so we're doing our part, and we're encouraging other people to do their part wherever they can. And the good news is now we have a USA MCA trade agreement.
Yes, good.
Sounds like the YMCA.
Of course.
Sing to that, but now we got the trade agreement in place as of yesterday, and so I'm sure the tariffs will be coming off on the NAFTA. You know, on the aluminum and steel, and we'll be back being friends again and being supportive, because we have probably the longest friendships. Yeah, we get our little bumps up and down, but I think, but I'm a strong believer that if you push, you got to push back the bully, because if you don't, you're just going to get pushed and pushed and pushed.
You got to be a squeaky wheel.
Exactly, and that's what I tried to do as mayor. You know, I defended this town wherever I could. I can remember 15 years ago, my first year as mayor, our hospital was part of another organization. Now it's part of the Halton Healthcare, but before that, it's another organization, and they want to close obstetrics and pediatrics here in the Georgetown Hospital.
Right. And
I was just mayor for 3 months, 4 months on the job.
This is the test. This is it.
This is a test, and somebody once said to me, a leader is like a tea bag. Right. You never know how strong they are until they're in a cup of hot water.
I like that.
And I thought that was so true. Yeah. So anyway, I rallied the town and worked with the Chamber of Commerce and worked with the doctors here. We had one rally at the high school of 700 people came out.
Wow.
Then we had busloads that went down to Queen's Park, and at the end of the day, the health minister, George Smitherman, he overruled the hospital board and kept obstetrics open, and now today there's babies being born in Georgetown Hospital, and it's used, and because as you know, the major concern of plus losing obstetrics and pediatrics is one pillar of a hospital. That's like taking one
the
leg
first thing, and then the next
off
thing,
a table, and next thing you know, it would have just been and an extended care, because they were pushing the big hospital in Brampton and whatever, but we had lots of support, and the community came together, and that was a huge victory, because bear in mind, I was a rookie mayor.
That's
amazing, have all this pressure on.
Of course,
what are you gonna do? You gotta deliver. And but the people bought into it.
So you set the standard high then, right off the bat.
Yeah, and then a few years later, we had a major highway that's going to come right in the south of Georgetown, a 400 series highway, the 4.3 highway, and we stopped it. We had signs, stop the 4.3 highway, and we took $100,000, and we hired a consultant that widened the highway, the 401 by Windsor.
Right.
And I said at the time, we got to hire these same consultants that the province uses to prove that the 401 couldn't have been widened, because they said we need this highway through because the 401 cannot be widened.
Right.
Well, we proved it can be widened, and now today the 401's being widened from 8 to 12 lanes. Yeah. And you can thank your Halton Hills Council for that. And and the Minister of Transportation, Bob Shirelli, got to thank him too, because he used to be a former mayor and the regional chair in Ottawa, and I met with him on 2 occasions. I said, here's the proof. It can be widened over his consultants. And he said, well, we'll take a look at it. And he called me one day. When a cabinet minister calls you, it's like, doesn't matter where you are, drop what you're doing and go. I had a call like 11 o'clock in the morning. You're wanted in Toronto for 1 p.m. But it's worthwhile, and it's worth, so I went to Toronto, and that's what he said.
Neat.
I've canceled the highway. You don't have to worry about the 4.3 highway, because that would have, it's just south of Georgetown. Yeah. It's going to go and hook up to Highway 25, or Regional Road 25 and the 401, but it would have bisected our official plan, farms, and would have brought even more development onto this town a lot quicker than what we would have wanted. Yeah. I think people like to have a small town as much as we can and hold on to it. Yeah, absolutely. And that was about 7-8 years ago. So I've had some successes, but some real tests. Yeah. Real tests for sure to get people involved. So.
I guess they managed. I always notice, me and my wife always joke, because you're driving on the 401 westbound just past Mavis and whatnot, and then it says caution quicksand. Yeah. Right? They took the sign out and they redid it recently, right?
Oh, is that right?
They brought that whole side and widened it where they're widening it. Yeah. And I said, where's the quicksand in Ontario? Right?
Well, you'd be surprised. We've had some developments, particularly in Acton. I remember years ago, we had one street and they put the sewer pipes in and they left it overnight. They came back the next day, it was gone. It sunk right into the ground.
And the sewer pipes are gone?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Sunk into the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are some soil problems.
Yeah, okay, all right, wow. I think the last thing, is there anything you want to share with anyone who's checking this out? Or?
Yeah, I just want to say hi to everybody for taking the time, watching this. And I'm a very proud person to be in Halton Hills, and it's been really a privilege and an honor to have served as mayor 15 years. and I hope to continue to do so. But I think we're really lucky to live in a community that we have. We have a very passionate community. We have so many, here's an example. When the hospital went to expand their hospital,
right,
and then we're building arenas, and then we added an addition to the culture center. Well, everybody's fundraising to offset the costs. And that was like a tsunami of projects in this town, like millions of dollars. And this town raised, and again, our business partners as well and individuals, it raised, this going back 6 years ago, it raised something like $8 million that it raised,
wow,
for all these projects.
Yeah.
For all these projects. $6.5 million was for the hospital, more than $8 million. The arenas was $2 million raised, $1 million for the culture center, and then $6.5 for the hospital. In a matter of about 2.5 years.
Impressive.
It's such a good town that way. And we have problems and you say, gee, it could be better. Well, waking up in the morning could be better for all of us.
Hiccups,
yeah, there's always something, but we do have for 13 years in a row, Halton Region is the safest community across Canada. 13 years in a row.
So that's something to be said for that.
And I think the last thing is Money Sense magazine, and that's a financial magazine. And people all say, well, you can do this better, do that better, and blah blah blah. But Money Sense magazine this year picked Halton Hills as the 10th best place to live in all of Canada.
Oh wow!
Oakville was number 1.
Yeah.
I think Burlington was 30th. Milton was in the 40s. But Halton Region's showing strong. But even it was ahead of so many major cities and towns and whatever. Yeah, so we're the 10th best place to. So don't always look at the cup half empty.
Yeah, it's always
look at it look at it half full. That we're doing, and it's people that are out here that make this town so great. The volunteers and our coaches.
Yes.
We have such wonderful resources in our volunteers in our community, and we recognize them every 4 years. We have a big launch, but I mean that's something that we do every day is thank our volunteers, because to be honest with you, we can't afford them.
Yeah, that makes a big difference, right?
We'd have to charge even more for ice time if we had to supply the hockey coaches, or figure skating coaches, or the soccer coaches. So without our volunteers, and that's what makes the community so special.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said.
Great.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you being on today.
All right, thank you very much.
And if you have a question for Mayor Rick Bonnette, please let us know in the comments below, or I'm sure you can reach out to him via email as well. You mentioned his email is mayor@haltonhills.ca.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep, that's great.
Otherwise, we'll see you guys soon. Have a great Tuesday.
Have a great day and stay dry. It's raining out.
Bye for now.
Bye.